Oh, hey Mahesh, how are you today?
Hey Charlie, I'm pretty good. I hope I pronounced your name well.
Yes, we were just talking about that is something in business about making sure that we get everybody's names correct and pronunciated it correctly as well.
Right, right.
But first, how do you like your coffee in the morning?
Ideally, it's black usually, but
Mm-hmm.
most of the time I start my day with a tea instead of a coffee. Um, I like my coffee after 10:30, 11. Early in the morning, around 7 o'clock, I usually like my tea. Typical Indian tea we make, the masala chai, where you put the ginger and all the other stuff. It just brings your day up. So yeah, I mean, not a. I love coffee. I love my coffees, but especially black. But I start my day with a tea.
I mean, it sounds like it was a conscious decision to start with the tea and then move on to the coffee.
Yes, because I mean, I'm a big Huberman fan, and Huberman says don't have coffee right in the morning. But I try to figure my own routine because I start my day, get up, have a glass of water, look at the sun, and meditate for some time, come back, and then I have my first cup of tea and with couple of biscuits or cookies, you call it typically. So I have cookies and tea. That's how I start my day because it coffee straight away hits you, and
Mhm.
you don't want your dopamine to be that unnatural right in the morning. I want it to be
Yeah,
natural.
yeah, you don't want the cortisol, so the cortisol stress. We don't want that too high. We want to let that natural dopamine come in, that gives you that happy feeling.
Correct,
And
correct.
tell me, who's that? I don't know who that guru or leader. And I'm big into small habits, routines, making sure you're setting yourself. So who's that thought leader?
Uh, I I'm a coach myself, right? So I published a book on personal transformation where people need to, it's called Self-Help Junkie to Action Hero, the real no nonsense guide to personal transformation. So when I was reading multiple books, all the other books I read, they were more like a reading. You're reading, everybody's reading and then keeping the books away. I wanted something people to read and implement it, make it practical. So when I wrote the book, I made it sure that it is more of uh, action oriented. So that's why it's called Action Hero. To turn yourself into an action hero. But yeah, I love following a couple of people. I love Huberman. I love the scientific approach he brings to a lot of stuff. But what I believe that everybody's body is different. Everybody's lifestyle is different. You can't copy somebody's lifestyle or figure out that that is going to work for you. I'm a night person. I stay very late in the night, but I get up early in the morning too. So how do I balance it? I can't do both, right? So I need to figure my balancing way. So I get my afternoon nap. Since now the advantage of working from home is you take a short nap for an hour, which brings your 7 hour cycle right there. But yeah, I believe in a couple of people. Huberman is one. I've been reading books of Jay Shetty these days.
Yeah,
He's giving a
yeah.
different perspective of
Mm-hmm.
how law of attraction is something which I love. I'd love to talk
Mm-hmm.
about because I believe very strongly in law of attraction. So yeah, some of these guys I love.
Jay Shetty, he brings such a warmth and empathy to his rhetoric narratives, which I always quite enjoy. Because I feel like for me, he's not really saying anything new, but he's really just, I don't know, it does it in such a way where it's it feels so much more powerful and emotional, and you just, I can't describe it. I'm doing this feeling because it's just the way that he speaks. I really like him. Is the long and short of that. And even though we're gonna go swoop back to what it is that you do and why in just 2 secs. But the a part of what you're obviously saying just there about your lifestyle, everybody's an individual. I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of body design, so you design your life
Yes.
around you, which requires it actually requires a lot of self-awareness. So how do you find your self-awareness so you can design around you? We're going to touch a little bit on how do you design around people and personalities. So let's just get to it.
Yeah.
What is it that you do and why do you do it?
Okay, so I've been a global GTM sales and a revenue leader for over 2.5 decades, more than that. And last year, I took a break from my last role, and I decided to publish a book. And then I realized that a lot of my clients started reaching out to me. They say that most of them are startups in the range of 1 million to 10 million, and they keep talking about how to build a revenue plan, how to build a GTM, how to get your right product market fit. So and I didn't knew fractional was a big thing, and I jumped into fractional. I got a couple of clients. I started working with them, and then I started researching about fractionals, and then I realized, and this is something which can be done well, can help a lot of companies. So I decided. So I'm a fractional CRO, but I mix CMO and CGO along with it. I'm also building a community for fractional CXOs where I want to train upcoming fractional CXOs, because in India nobody knows what fractional uh, is. Maybe hardly 0.5% of the population know what fractional is. So I want to take the initiative of coaching people, the upcoming fractional CXO. That's where I'm heading to. But I'm a fractional CRO and a CMO and a CGO all mixed in one.
And so today's podcast, I'm going to end. If everybody stays tuned to the very, very end, we'll get into some really, really great nuggets that you don't want to miss. But one of the key things is your main target market is for SaaS companies. So today we're really going to be focusing around, if you've got a SaaS business, what are the really top tips you can be gaining. Now, why is it so important? Well, because this is unique to you. Why is it so important to combine the CRO, the CMO, and the CGO together? What's the significance of that?
I'll simply say all of them depend on revenue. Everybody's job is to bring revenue in some way or the other. Now, CRO typically in real life world, a CRO manages sales, manages marketing, and manages customer success. That's how the CRO role is designed. Now, CMO is a separate function which now people have started incorporating, because large organizations require independent CXOs. So now they have divided into CMOs, and then there is a growth engine inside a CMO. Now CGO does growth, right? I mean, typically growth is part of marketing strategy, go-to-market strategy. Now it's part of the entire CMO domain. But what happens is a lot of large companies can hire, a CMO separate, a CGO separate, a CRO separate. Now, why do they come to a fractional when they don't have budgets? When they want somebody who can do all the work at a certain budget, at a certain time frame. So that's when I realized that my SaaS companies, and I come from a hardcore SaaS background. I've been doing it for last 10, 12 years. I worked with unicorns in fintech, in HR tech space for SaaS companies. What I have seen that SaaS company needs to be very agile. You need to be very on your feet. Now, upcoming SaaS companies, when they are building an 1 to 10 million or even 0 to 1 million space, they need somebody who can help them design a complete, a strategic vision, the market expansion, innovation, revenue strategies, customer success, brand management, marketing strategy. Now, if they imagine a company which is at, let's say, $1 million ARR, and they want to hire CMO, CRO, CGO, they're going to spend $300,000 each. So they're going to spend almost $900,000 in 3 different CXO positions. Now, how are they going to manage it, right? So it becomes challenging. So that's when I figured out that since I come from GTM, that's my specialty, go-to-market strategy. I said, why not align all 3 together and help those those SaaS companies and give them a single vision, single window to manage. They don't have to go to multiple CXOs to do multiple things. That's the thought process.
No, I like it. I like it a lot. And so one of the things you just said there at the very start, I want to dig in because it's a phrase that is battered around a lot.
Yeah.
And that is, a SaaS company needs to be on their toes. They need to
Yeah.
be able to quick and pivot really, really fast and be really,
Right.
really agile. There's a
Right.
lot of jargon in there, and I want to get into
Right.
the nuggets of them.
Sure.
What does that actually mean?
Most of the SaaS companies which we see today, they are either building a new product and taking it to the market, or building a product which is already existing. They are doing it much efficiently, much better, but they already have competition in place. Now, what do you mean by agile if they are not quick and they don't turn around their GTM plan quickly? They don't get their product market fit quickly. Somebody else might come and take a leap. They don't want to do that. So you need somebody who can push things faster, and the cost is very high, right? When you're a bootstrap company, or even a 1 million to 10 million ARR company, your cost metrics are very high. I remember I used to work, one of my clients, they were building a fintech product, a SaaS fintech product, and their the entire cost of running the business was close to around $100,000, and out of that, $60,000 to $70,000 was the development team cost, product technology development team cost. Now, remaining was HR, marketing. I was so surprised they didn't have a sales team. They had 2-member sales team managing the sales. They didn't have revenues anywhere. They're just building the product. They're just innovating the product. Now, you need to start selling, right? What they were doing is, since the founders were well networked, they were getting those initial clients, but that's not helping them.
No.
They need to move up. And how do you scale up? You need to hire your sales team. You need to get your sales playbook in place. You need to get your sales processes in place. You need to get your marketing team aligned properly so that the sales and the marketing team can talk to each other. If they both are not talking to each other, the leads are not coming, sales is not happening. Sales is spending more time in going and running behind leads, and marketing team is not doing anything. So there's a lot of friction. Then things are not moving, and every month 100,000 burn. In 6 months they have already burned $600,000, and they don't have even $1 of revenue, maybe $10,000 through their network, which they figured it out. How do you scale up from there? You need to change their mindset. You need to tell them that the most important arm in your organization is not only product and development, it is your sales and marketing engine. If they don't bring revenue, you're not going to survive. You can create the best product in the world, but if nobody's going to sell it, how are you going to make money? So that's the whole idea. And most of the SaaS companies, especially tech founders, they're very passionate, right? SaaS tech founders. What I have seen is these tech founders, they don't, they are so much in love with their product. They forget that there is anything above and beyond their product. They forget that there is a sales team which needs to sell that product. There's a marketing team which needs to market the product. So what I meant is, if you're a SaaS company, you need to move fast. You need to be flexible. You need to move your moves really quick, because today with AI, everybody is building a SaaS product. Imagine now, this note, read.ai. Read.ai, what it does is, it documents the entire podcast, or it documents the entire recording. It documents everything. Imagine 1.5 year back, there was a couple of people who were doing that job, like Chorus AI and the others. But now you have more than 10 competitors for them. There's Pikey, there is Otter, there are more coming up. And now Google has figured out, on Google Meet, you can create your notes automatically. So everything is moving fast. If you're not agile, if you're not quick, you don't take decisions rationally, you're going to be losing behind. You're going to lose a lot of money.
All of that is absolutely correct. I'm so with you on this. And the phrase and the message that we've repeatedly said on the podcast is, your leads and your sales is your lifeline. We are in the game we're in the infinite game of business. There is no destination, there is no end point. You just have to keep surviving another day. And the way you do that is new business, because if you've got new business coming in, you've got cash flow, and you can solve a lot with money. You can solve the rest, you can figure out the rest, but you've got the core there. And so when it comes to, and when you then, one of the really good things as well you can add in that we just didn't mention, I want to make sure that's in there, is if you've got a UX designer, you've got a product manager as well as part of that tech team.
Yes.
They're obviously in the alignment with the sales team, the marketing team, because they're listening to the customer, they're listening to what's happening into the world, and then going back to the tech team, the dev team, and be like, hey, do you know this little tangent, this little direction that we've been going on? We might want to pivot. We might want to go and change into another direction, because this insanely cool thing has come out, like AI.
Correct.
Well, we want to be using that, because that's where that's where the market fit is going.
Correct.
So,
recently I was part of a summit where I was a panelist, and there were a lot of founders there, tech founders, and I was in a discussion where they wanted to know how to raise funds. I'm also an angel investor. I'm also connected with VCs and all. I help companies and SaaS companies raise funds. Now, one of the questions, and which was a common question, was, how quickly can I raise? When can I raise the fund? So I asked them a question: where is your product stage, and where is your revenue at? They have just reached the MVP stage, and they are already thinking about raising funds. I said, unless and until you don't make money, how are you going to show to your angel investors or the VCs that they can count on you and you're going to make money? Because you can create a dream product, but if your product is not going to be sold, if there's no revenue coming in, nobody is going to be interested in. So what is happening is, these days, every company, SaaS founders, they are focusing on raising funds rather than selling the product, making money, and then raising fund. It's always the opposite side. First raise funds and then start selling. You're going to be in a vicious cycle if you're going to do that.
Well, like there is two really common mistakes that I've seen as well, and probably made the mistake myself. I will always admit that. So really two common mistakes. So that is the one you just mentioned. You're trying to get ahead of the game without even proving you are worthy of being able to get a huge amount of money from somebody. Remember, when you're talking to an investor, you're going to have to sell yourself, and you're going to have to sell every part of why you're a non-risky investment, why you have got such a great product that you've really, the customers do demand what you have. And then the other one is, obviously just mentioned there, is being so focused on the product that you're not even thinking about the distribution of the product. Now, what I want to sort of dig into here is, if I'm a SaaS founder and I'm going, this isn't me, this doesn't sound like me, and I will guarantee we've all made these mistakes. So what are some of these symptoms? Like, we mentioned misalignment of the marketing. We've met, like, the lack of forecasting, or what are some of these symptoms that they could be experiencing that will indicate that this is happening?
You have many symptoms. First and foremost is when you start firing people, when you start removing people.
Quite an obvious one.
When you realize that you are removing the revenue generating people and you are focusing more on hiring to build a product or to upgrade your product. That's the first step I have seen. I have seen companies, it's very strange that the first person or the first company which gets hit, department which gets hit, is marketing and sales. I don't know why they do it, because they are the one who's going to make you money. If they are not there, you're going to hire somebody, and he's going to take another 6 months to scale up, because nobody starts from first day, right? No sales guys will start working for you on the first day. He takes 30 days to train, and then another 2 months to scale up. So you're going to lose another 3 to 6 months. They don't realize that. They feel that, if one sales guy is not good, I'll get somebody else I'll keep doing it, and that's the way it works. So first symptom is when they start laying off people. That's the first step, when you know that they have not figured out their entire business model or business plan. That's where then second is their product. You can't, if your product is made for an SMB or a mid-market, you can't take that product to enterprise. Similarly, if it's an enterprise product, you can't take the same product to SMB and mid-market. So when your product alignment is not there, when you as a founder decides that no, my product can be bought by anybody, that's not how it works. That's why if you see any subscription plan of any big product, whether it is Salesforce or HubSpot, you have the free subscription, then you have the pro subscription, you have a plus subscription, and then you have the enterprise subscription. Why do they have these kind of subscription? Because is your product ready to fit in those price bracket, and your product, does it give you that scalability? Now imagine, I used to work for a tech company, fintech company, where they had a brilliant enterprise product, fantastic enterprise product. All the big enterprise are using that product. The moment you talk about enterprise product, you're talking about cost, right? The average cost of that product is around $800,000 to $900,000. Now I want to sell that product to in a mid-market. Can I sell it? No, you can't, because you don't have that product alignment for mid-market, because your cost is 800,000. You can't reduce the cost, make it 200,000 and sell it to mid-market. You can't do that, because your product is not made for mid-market. So create a product, maybe a lighter version, remove few things which a mid-market company would not require. So get your product alignment fit. So I feel that's the mistake. Another sign you get, like, no, this is something which is missing. Third is when your marketing, sales, and product don't talk to each other. When all three are in different direction. Product has created a great product with lots of feature. Marketing doesn't even know what those features are. Your marketing team is selling some different features, or their brand, their collaterals, their website, their promotions is showing some different features which is not there on the product, or maybe missing, or it is not highlighted. Sales altogether is doing, they have created their own platform or a PPT, and they are selling it using that PPT. So imagine when you don't have alignment between all the three, so there's no communication. One more important, which I feel, is if you don't have a proper customer success or a customer experience team with you, because that's your I believe sales, one, revenue generation; marketing, another revenue generation; customer success, your third revenue generation. How? Because your customer success team is going to ensure that there is no churn happening, one. Second, they will ensure that there is an upsell happening, cross-sell happening. If they have sold one product, they will try and go, and the customer success team will try and sell the other product. So if all the three departments are not aligned, then you have gaps, revenue. I call them revenue gaps or revenue leakages. So you'll have revenue leakages in all the three departments. So when you figure out that your customer success team doesn't care about churn, they're just calling the customer, just ensuring that the current problem is solved, but not retaining the customer, ensuring that everything is taken care. So these are some of the things. I mean, we can have a 1 hour session just on this, but these are some of the signs which I see immediately. When I feel that the customer, when the founder starts telling you, I am bootstrapped and I am running out of cash, that's when you have to start worrying. Where you have to start worrying.
And if you're, let's say you're more of like a numbers person or a data person, just on these points, like you said really great phrase there, the churn. You'll see the sales guy. Let's say you had an alignment on the sales guys and the marketing, etc. You watching all of these new leads come in, new business come in, fantastic. But then you're also watching all your clients go out in 30 days, 45 days, and you've just seen them fly out the door.
Yeah.
That to me is the numbers part, isn't it? It's the numbers part.
Yes.
Like, why are my clients not sticky? Why are they just going out? I've got a great product. That's some symptoms that you need to go. There's some things that need to be fixed, whether it's the customer success or it's the product itself. Or we go back to the misalignment of marketing, because that's a classic one. One thing that really great salespeople, and this is just from my experience, so please do correct me, but great salespeople, they are the hunters specifically, will go and spot opportunities because they are so close with the prospect, and they've got to really understand their need. And because their quota is they want to close the lead, they might even invent a feature. Like, let's call innovate. Let's be more positive language. Innovate a feature, sell it to the customer, and go back to the ops and the product department and be like, hey, you guys can build this in like a couple of days, can't you? It's fine. I've already promised it to the customer that it's going to happen. Whilst that has really good intentions, and actually it's a really good feedback loop, if you've got alignment, that salesperson will go, okay, don't do that right now, but let me talk to the dev and product team and we can put it into the backlog and we can be making this. That's great customer feedback to your product and your operations. But if they're selling it, marketing have no idea about it, and obviously it's not even in the backlog, it's going to cause some problems.
It's a classical, I call it the sales disease, which is selling something which is not there, because you have a customer, you finally got a customer who's in your hold, and he's saying, I'm good with everything, just that I need one or two features which is missing, and I think so, and those are, features which I require. It are mandatory features. Without that, I can't survive. The sales guy, immediate reaction, and it's a human reaction. I don't blame the sales. And I have done it when I was young, when I was growing up, where I'll say, oh, yeah, we can do it. They feel that the product team can do it, but they don't know when can it be done, how much time it will take, whether it could be possible. So that's a normal sales problem. And I don't blame them. It's just that sometimes you have a certain scope, and your product does A to Z, but there are things which are missing in those between A to Z, and that's when sales start doing their stunts. I call it stunts. They do their stunts of pitching something which is not possible, but saying, yeah, we can do it in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks time. And then the product team, if it's a large deal, imagine this happening not only in small companies, this happens in large enterprise SaaS companies also, where imagine you're selling a product for $400,000 and you're going to lose the sale just because 3 features are not there. And the sales guy is going to tell his boss, the VP or the CXO will tell the CEO, see, your product doesn't have these 3, I'm losing a $400,000 deal. The CEO will bring his CTO and a chief product officer, tell them, I don't care, I want this 400,000. This is a good brand which I want to work with. Ensure that this product is built. The CPO has no clue how quickly, and they would want timelines. They can't give timelines. Now, this is a problem everywhere. It is not a problem only with certain segment or certain company. The best thing is, there's no best thing, because you will have features which the customers will come and ask you, which you can't give. Sometimes it's okay to say no, but sometimes you'll have to tell the customer, maybe in a year's time we will upgrade the version, we will upgrade the features to you. And take the timelines, get a timeline of at least 6 to 8 months if it's a feature which is a deal breaker for the customer.
So to me, that sounds quite hopeful. If you're in your little business bubble and you're thinking, well, I've been listening to this podcast and I've done all of these things, these are all big mistakes, oh no.
Yeah.
Just even saying that everybody does this, every company, we're both fortunate to be in a position where we do go into lots of different companies.
Yes.
And we see this, that everybody is making these common mistakes. That's almost a little reassuring. It's a little hopeful that we're human here.
It's a human thing. You can't do anything. You can't have a perfect product. Imagine iPhone has come from iPhone to iPhone 16. Their software version has come from OS whatever to 18 now. Similarly, Windows has gone from here to here. Still, they have problems. Yesterday, Windows crashed, and almost a lot of the large organizations were not able to work for one full day. So these things will happen. Products cannot be perfect. I always believe product is a work in progress. It is always work in progress. It is never full and final product. If it was a full and final product, people will not create versions of it. Whether it is a small company or big company, they need to upgrade. They need to keep innovating. So that's where innovation comes in picture, where innovation has to be there. But as a sales guy, I'm a sales guy. I don't care about how when the product gets upgraded. I have to sell. I have a target to chase. If I don't do $400,000, I'm going to lose $50,000 of commission. Imagine, why would he not say, go ahead and I'm not promoting missell, but I'm saying you need to be very clear what you're selling. You should be. Sometimes it's okay to say no to a customer and tell him that we will work on it, but at this point of time I don't have the features. But when it will come, we will come back to you when those features will come, because misselling is the biggest thing which happens in sales, and that's a common problem everywhere. You have seen it. You have experienced it. Misselling happens on a regular basis. Anybody who goes on a call missells 90% of the time. At least one feature, one problem, one demo. Even in demo, imagine when they are giving a demo, the customer will ask, "This, can we move this box from here to here?" What does the sales guy do? Yeah, we can do it. That's a customizable feature. We can do it. It's fine. Even a best sales guy who's never made a mistake, he will say yes, because it's a very small feature. He will think that could be changed, but it's a mistake. It's a missell. So I believe it goes hand in hand. But you need to say no at times to customers and say, no, this is not possible. I know it's a deal breaker for you. Can we start with it, and then maybe we can improvise it over a period of next 6 to 8 months time.
So this fits very neatly into the sales playbook now.
Yes.
So kind of final, this is like the bombshell, the final question of the podcast. What is the one thing in the playbook that absolutely has to be in every playbook, because it's that one thing that makes or breaks it? What would you say if you boiled it down? Because I'm sure there's many, but what's that one that you say is like absolutely crucial, that business owners can go back now and implement it into their own playbook?
In a sales playbook, there should be an option. I mean, most of the companies don't have. I have seen exhaustive playbooks where you have different steps. I have created a sales playbook where I call it method and madness, 5 Ds of sales, where you start from discover to design to deal to close the sale. So you have 5 steps. Now, one thing you can't miss, or which you should not, is your demonstration. When you give a demo to your product, you can't say something which is not there in the product. You should not do it. I feel that is the biggest blunder. You can, on the call, when you're on the call with the customer, not recording, not demo, on the call, sometimes you might say, I can build this feature, I can get it done. But when you're giving a demo to a customer, that is the time you should ensure, all the companies should ensure that people follow the demo playbook to the T. They don't divert, they don't change, they don't say that this is possible, this is not possible. Or the company should give them that if there are certain features currently not there but could be implemented, they should have a separate sheet which a customer should share it to the sales team and tell them that if the customer asks you this, these are the set of questions which you need to tell the customer. Because most of the time what companies do is, once they create the product, they know the demo is done, they'll forget it. No, somebody needs to create a demo. The person who's creating the demo for the sales team and telling that this is the way you need to do the demo, these are the products, features which are there. They should be also ready with a list of questions which customer might ask, which is not there on the product, and the customer or the product owner should know the answer, and he should tell, it should be mentioned in that in 3 weeks this would be done, in 6 weeks it could be done, or 7 weeks it could be done. Imagine how much problem. Nobody will missell. Is not going to solve your problem? Because if you know that these are the features currently not there, but maybe we can build it, or which could be built, and this has been given by your product team and your technology team, that these are the features which is not there, but why don't you have a list? And if the customer asks you, apart from, like they say, right, when you write an exam, there are certain questions which doesn't come from the books which you have read. Sometimes the questions come out of syllabus. We call it out of syllabus question, where you don't know what to answer because you have never read it. You don't know what the answer is. So somebody needs to create that out of syllabus questions for the sales team so that they don't go and missell. And that should be part of playbook.
There you go. That is the crucial answer. That is the crucial thing, is creating your out of syllabus list. That is your innovation list. That is your future list, and
exactly.
Communicate it to your leadership team.
Yes.
Well, today has been an absolute pleasure digging into all the different sales strategies when it comes to a SaaS product. Now, Mahesh, where can people find you?
They can find me on LinkedIn. I also have my own podcast called Mr. Iyer's Digital Dialogue. I'm going to see you soon there. And I need to ask questions to a CMO, right? What are the things a CMO does? So I want to ask you those questions. So yeah, you can find it on Spotify. You can just search Mr. Iyer's Digital Dialogue. It's on all the platform, Apple Podcast, everywhere. Yes, I'm on LinkedIn, and I have a website called roarglobal.com. People can come and check the website. We also do SDRS services, where for US and European customers, where they are hiring expensive SDRs. You don't need to hire local SDRs. We have SDRs in India who will do the same services for you at 1/3 of the cost what you are paying an SDR in US or in Europe. So yeah, that's
amazing. Thank you so much for having you. It's an absolute pleasure, and I will be seeing you soon.
Yeah, thank you very much.